But I do know that Jobin, we were talking before you got on, Jonah, about this is amazing if you're a Lakers fan, but he doesn't seem to agree.
Yeah, what's the deal, Jobin? You're just very nonchalant and reserved about this. Like, what do you know that we don't?
Well, listen, I'm never going to be up here or down here, right? Like I'm always going to be very even keel. So when I first
Normal
heard the
fan
news,
behavior, very normal fan behavior. Yes.
yeah, right. So here's the thing: when I first heard the news last night, it was like, okay, let's sit back here before I go crazy on this, because you have to understand when you're in Dallas, you Dallas fans live in a cocoon, and you think Luka is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And the reality is, he's a 25-year-old player in a 35-year-old's body. He's been playing professional sports since 16 years old. Listen, he's great, and he is a great player. You're not getting it. I mean, everyone keeps saying he's an aging center or power forward, whatever you want to call him. AD is still a monster. Anthony Davis was giving us 32 points, like 12 boards, 5 assists for the first quarter of the season. He had like 2 40-20 games. The dude can play, right? And so I love that I'm getting Luka, but for a Lakers fan, it's creating all new holes for us because now we need to figure out and we need to reset and realize we need a big, we need defense. The offense may take care of itself, but we also need to surround more shooting around Luka. I mean, all the things that the Mavs did well last year in their run to the finals was because they had good shooting, decent defense, not great defense, decent defense, but great shooting around Luka. The Lakers don't have that. They have an aging LeBron James who's 40 years old, who's also a ball dominant player. So you got Luka who's ball dominant, and you got LeBron. He's not going to just run screens all day. That's not his game. So I'm going to be a little more measured in my approach.
Yeah, that's boring. I don't. You got one of the top five. You got the third runner or the second runner up for MVP last year. And you can say all you want about his conditioning and about being a 25-year-old in a 35-year-old's body. As a 34-year-old, A, I'm offended by that. And B, this is a guy who just like 5 months ago led a team to the NBA Finals, averaged 30 points in Boston when no one else could make a shot. So you can try to poke holes in all the little different things, but when it comes down to it, you need a gamer, especially in the playoffs. He is that. You make a good point. It doesn't really make sense from a roster construction standpoint for the Lakers, but Luka appears to be the passing of the torch for LeBron, right? Maybe they don't work right now, or maybe they do, but it's going to look weird or different. And I would imagine the Lakers aren't done. Trade deadline still, has to come, and that they would likely add some bigs so they can give it a fair shake while they have both of them. But yeah, from a roster construction standpoint, doesn't make sense for the Lakers, doesn't really make sense for the Mavs, doesn't really make sense to anybody for anybody, which is why over the last, since this trade dropped late Saturday night, it's been who's the winner here? And I actually, fellas, I have figured out who has won the trade.
Okay, tell us, please. Come on.
It's Jerry Jones.
Yes.
Yes.
Jerry and Stephen Jones are the big winners in all of this because
The heat's off. Yeah.
now their whole coaching search becomes the second story of the week.